As a longtime defense lawyer and former federal prosecutor, Adam Stephen Bonney has seen the justice system from both sides. But he's never seen it under pressure the way it is now.
The Supreme Court of Canada made it clear. The culture of complacency is dead. It's over.
In the Jordan decision 2 years ago, the top court set strict timelines for the right to a speedy trial. But there's work to do before those cases get to court, and it's taking longer and longer for RCMP labs to process firearms forensic reports.
For the prosecutor, it creates an untenable state of affairs. For the accused, especially those who are innocent, it's completely unacceptable.
Many police forces across the country rely on the RCMP to do work like this, testing guns, analyzing bullets, and RCMP statistics show the results are slower to arrive. 4 years ago, routine firearms testing took about 56 days. In the past year, that number had ballooned to 238 days. Behind me here in Ottawa, the RCMP operates one of its 3 labs. A few years back, it closed 3 others, a decision that had a cascading effect. Some specialized staff decided not to relocate, creating a resource crisis that's been felt in the courtroom.
When the lab comes back and tells me that they have 230 days turnaround time to get a report back on a gun, that's an enormous problem for us.
Crown Prosecutor Rick Woodburn surveyed colleagues across Canada, and the news is not good.
From reports that I'm getting across the country, charges are being stayed, charges are being reduced, and sometimes even withdrawn by prosecutors because of the delays in getting those reports back.
In one Newfoundland murder trial, a preliminary inquiry ground to a halt for 7 months, waiting for a gun testing report. And in Manitoba, delays in disclosing forensic results factored into a judge's decision to throw out weapons charges. The good news is the Mounties now believe they are turning the corner. Lab jobs may soon be filled and turnaround times have gone down in recent months. All this as new stats show that gun violence in Canada is still on the rise. Rob Antle, CBC News, Ottawa.
Now here's a little more on those rates of gun violence Rob mentioned. According to Statistics Canada, they are up across the country. StatsCan recorded more than 2,700 violent gun crimes last year. That's up more than 7% from 2016. The biggest spike was in Saskatchewan, with a jump of almost 50%. Ontario was second at 10%. Homicides committed with a gun are also up. According to the most recent numbers, there were 223 firearm-related homicides in 2016, more than half related to gang activity, mostly in Toronto and Vancouver. Now, earlier, Rob examined the effects of the Jordan decision on criminal law, but that's only one part of the system. Back in March, our Carolyn Dunn looked at how the ruling was affecting civil law as well, by effectively robbing Peter to pay Paul.
In a wooded lot a half-hour north of Edmonton, Sandra Paraderi is living a life more rustic than she ever could have imagined. Firewood for heat from a wood stove.
And no running water, no.
No running water, no electricity.
Paraderi's common-law husband died 4 years ago, but there's a legal battle over the estate. She can't get her rightful share until it's settled. She's broke, living mainly on a survivor's pension and the goodwill of others. Her lawyer says if that case goes to trial, it probably won't be scheduled before 2021.
I get it. I got to start over, but I didn't think I was going to have to start over from under the barrel. Not even the bottom. It's twisted.
Hers is one of an untold number of civil cases facing lengthy delays, systemic delays that in some jurisdictions seem to grow only longer with each passing month.
Part of the problem comes courtesy of the Supreme Court of Canada in what's known as the Jordan decision of July 2016. It ruled criminal trials must be completed within 18 months for relatively minor cases or 30 months for more serious offenses. The system is straining to meet those deadlines, and in some provinces, they're using civil court resources to do it. Recently retired Chief Justice of Alberta, Neil Whitman, says the civil court system is suffering as a result.
You cannot keep up the pace that this court is presently being subjected to for long periods of time and get the quality of justice that I think the public deserves.
In Calgary, for example, the wait for a civil trial in 2016 averaged 92 weeks. This year, that wait has doubled. Alberta is perhaps least prepared to deal with all of this because the federal government has failed to fill a dozen judicial vacancies.
Maybe one of those positions has been filled so far, maybe one.
Mark Feehan is president of the Alberta Civil Trial Lawyers Association and Sandra Paraderi's lawyer.
You don't want alleged murderers walking the streets, and we all understand that. But the people that have non or less serious, like family law or estate arguments or personal injury, they all just kind of got put on the back burner.
The people like me, I don't even think we're on the back burner. I think we've been put on the side to cool.
Where she counts the days, waiting for justice. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, near Edmonton.